Welcome to The Real World. This is your host Almas Haider Naqvi. President Trump's first year signaled a profound departure of US leadership in areas like trade, climate policy, and an across-the-board toughening of immigration practices. The moves reflected the administration's push for an America First agenda. Trump's policies are shaping a different world order and different path of international politics. Today, to discuss President Trump's foreign policy, today we have with us a seasoned academic, Dr. Muzaffar Khan Zafar. He is an expert on international relations. Thank you very much, Dr. Muzaffar, for joining us. Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States since 2017. During the first year in presidency, he took several foreign policy initiatives. Don't you think he is the man of his word and he is doing what he committed?
Thank you very much. My dear Almas, basically, in order to understand Trump's foreign policy, we are to understand US position in international political system. Currently, we are going through a unilateral world. I mean to say unipolar world. At the top in the international political system, there is only one country in the first layer, and in the second layer there are three countries,
yes.
Russia and China along with. And then in third layer there are so many countries, and fourth layer very weak and smaller countries. We are to understand that America is going through, especially in the post Cold War era, right after the disintegration of Soviet Union, the world has become unipolar, and American president is truly representing the unipolarity of the system. And that's why we see that what promises he made. He was during his campaign, he was uttering something about immigration. He was anti-immigration. He was talking about assertive and anti-America and anti-China and anti-Russia. And he was talking about anti-Islam and anti-immigration too, especially to America. And he's been talking about erecting wall on American-Mexico border. So I mean to say he truly represented current America of unipolar world with the American rightist perceptions. He basically came at the time when we see around about the major major war on terror operations. They had already been ended, both in Afghanistan as well as in Iraq. So comparatively, he came at a better position when America had become around about to some extent stable to tackle the problems of terrorism in Afghanistan and Iraq. So but these the promises he made during his campaign.
Yes.
They represented not liberal America. Basically, they represented rightist and extremist America.
Trump in an interview said, "I am different than other presidents. I'm a deal maker. I've made deals all my life." Do you think that US can unilaterally impose deals on other states?
Yes, to some extent he is right, but the statement is not correct in totality, because in international political system, yes, currently, as I have already said, that basically America represents the only country in the first layer of international political system, and the rest of the world, especially China and Russia, they fall in the second layer. And then in third layer, where India, Pakistan and other countries. So in the first and top layer, America is the only country. It simply means America possesses, at the current stage, America possesses the unchallengeable military might. So, if we try to understand from this angle, if we approach America from this angle, then to some extent it seems, but it is not possible.
Dr. Zawar,
Okay, let me make it clear that in the international political system in 21st century, it is not that easy. The world has become too complex, independent, and it's not that easy. The wars they have now, you see the wars. It's the age of hybrid wars.
Trump's knee-jerk foreign policy initiatives are being largely criticized within the United States and its European allies. How will it impact on international politics?
Yes, basically, his certain initiatives. For example, the most important initiative which he took, rather I would like to say the negative initiative which he took was crashing of Iran deal, Iran nuclear deal. So how could it be that that being a member of United Nations, being a great power, that being a permanent member of Security Council, you are crashing a deal which had been already concluded by your,
which is legally binding.
Legally binding, but had been concluded by the former president. I mean to say, it was not something which was imposed on America. American President Barack Obama himself took the lead.
It means that
And
you are discrediting the
Yes.
United States and your previous president.
Yes, at least to this point, America is acting as a destabilizer of the world, because in my understanding, this move, this could unleash a new era of violence and warfare, at least in the Middle East and Persian Gulf region, and which is very, very important, because it's the region whereby we see around about 20% of the oil which goes to America, it goes from the Middle East. So it is directly related to American domestic economy as well. It's not that easy that he could do, but I see my final understanding is that he is at this point, at least, he is acting as a destabilizer of international political system, rather than basically, if we try to understand the hegemon's behavior in history, they are always acting as stabilizer factors in international political. But this move is destabilizing international political system, and it could lead to new wave of violence. And
it seems that the United States has been losing its influence with allies and is squandering much of its soft power in ways that will make it difficult to regain. Do you agree?
I agree to some extent, but not in totality, because the allies of the Cold War, right from 1945 to onward, we see there had been two allies. One most important, it was Turkey. Turkey had been a NATO member, very important NATO member, and had a very important role in containing Soviet Union, in the containment of Soviet Union from 1945 to 1989. And on the other side, there is another country. It has also been ally of the Cold War. Yes, it's Pakistan. So if we try to understand, on the other hand, on the third side, there are two other important countries in Europe. It's Germany and France. They are also disagreeing with Donald Trump's initiatives. So it's to some extent it is correct that he is not acting as a very sane or traditional American Republican president, and he is to some extent he is aggressive and violent, which is not the requirement of international political system, and the requirement of a hegemon.
Dr. Muzaffar, since Trump has been in office as president, the US is continuously pressurizing Pakistan on various issues. How Trump's policies may have impact on relations with Pakistan?
Yes, it's a very good question, especially in relation to Pakistan. We know that right from 1945 to onward, exactly from 1954 to 1989, Pakistan has been a very active member of US policy of containment against Soviet Union. And Pakistan has, on its credit, the most important role which it played as a frontline state in Afghan jihad or Afghan freedom movement against Soviet Union. And after that, right from 1989 today, America has been, following a vindictive policy, punitive policy against Pakistan with the 1989 reimposition of nuclear sanctions on Pakistan, and then ultimately putting Pakistan on the watch list of terrorist state. And then again, with the happening of 9/11, we see Pakistan once again came to the forefront and played very important and frontline state in war on terror in Afghanistan. And it was with the help of Pakistan that America could dislodge very easily Taliban regime in Afghanistan. But since then, American policy towards Pakistan is comprehensible to me, at least, in the sense that now America, if we want to understand American foreign policy at this very stage, then we have to understand certain things. One, DPG papers 1992, then PNAC Project for New American Century of 1997, and then then war on terror and George Bush doctrine.
Doctor, sorry for interruption. My question is, in Pakistan, new government in information, what you suggest for the upcoming government to have certain foreign policy initiatives to normalize, to improve relations with the United States?
Yes, I would like to say that Pakistan's current government, which is in making nowadays, I think Pakistan's foreign relations with America, they had never been so easy. They have never been easy allies. But I would like to say that the best policy for Imran government, which is in making, is that we must not, being Pakistani, we must not confront America militarily, one thing. Secondly, we should adapt as a country, because Americans, we know very well, they are sitting in not only in Afghanistan and Middle East and Central America. They have close liaison with Pakistan's economy as well and Pakistan's military forces. So confrontation could be counterproductive. So it's easy that we use the diplomatic channels and we keep our tones low, and so that we could neutralize American, especially Donald Trump's behavior towards Pakistan. But there is a big irritant, and it's the role.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muzaffar, for joining us.
Thank you.
Trump's foreign policy initiatives during first year of his presidency have alarmed enemies and allies. Trump's isolationist policy will have the long-term impact on global politics, likely to be studied for generations to come. This is all from the real world. Keep watching dbtv.live. Take care.